Alpha has been a great tool for the Indian church. It creates an ambience of comfort for the seeker. And I would say that even the agnostic person has a good space in which they can come in and explore. Here is an ambience in which the Christian faith is presented with evidence. Voices right from C.S. Lewis to experiences from Billy Graham are brought out. And as you look at this course, it beautifully brings the elements of the Christian faith in terms of discipling someone that they may walk with God. But essentially, Alpha is an open door for a seeker to come and examine the truth of the gospel. We were privileged to run the Alpha course almost 8 times in our local church. And something that was beautiful was that before the course began, we used to have a midweek program in which only about 8 to 10 people would come. But we gathered those 8 to 10 and they became the core leaders, prayed with them for several months. Each of us wrote down names of people that we wanted to invite. And when we announced the first course, we were amazed, in fact, that about 100 people registered for it. Ever since, every Wednesday night, Alpha never ran less than 100 people. It was marvelous to have those gatherings. The simple combination of just a hymn to open with, a talk, followed by a meal that was a fantastic time of fellowship and interaction, and then almost 1 hour in the small groups where the leaders went through the questions. We also created a format in which at the end of that 1 hour, we had a little open Q&A time. And I still remember somebody who came from another faith, who came very resistant to it, to session 1, looking at whether Christianity is untrue, boring, irrelevant. And during that session, someone in the small group who was also a visitor spoke very strongly against the faith of this visitor. And when the Q&A opened, that visitor stood up and told me, "I'm so disillusioned. I came to your church thinking that you were a people of love, but here someone really ridiculed my faith, my Eastern worldview, and I take objection to it." And I remember speaking to that friend and saying, "Friend, thank you for coming. And I want to apologize on behalf of all of us here that you were made to feel this way. But I want to ask you if you'd still bear with us and continue to think of coming for next week's course." This person came along and in the 6th session actually found that Jesus was evidence enough to believe and gave her life to him. So the Alpha is a great place in which you allow people to come, examine the Christian faith and understand it. Another very powerful dynamic that the Alpha creates is any church leader or pastor who wants to have leaders built among the laity has a great tool here. You have 2 leaders and 2 leaders who are subserving with those leaders in each group. And even as you look at a group of about 12 people together in that journey, 4 leaders, 8 people who are coming in to understand, it's very easy to follow up. It only takes 1 person to follow up on 2 people. So you get a call, you get a coffee day moment, or something in a week that's a little visit or an interaction, which tells people that the Christian faith is not just about theology, but also about practice, not just about doctrine, but also about duty. It speaks about not only belief, but also about behavior, because they hear about the Christian faith spoken in the sessions and in the group discussions, but then they see a loving community respond to them in different ways. So I want to say to church pastors especially, if you're looking for a good program, not only to lead people to understand the Christian gospel, but to really build your leadership in the laity, Alpha is a great tool because people are built up as leaders. Today's servers in the hospitality group become tomorrow's leaders in the small group discussion, and who knows, some of them might actually do the talks for you as well. So I want to commend Alpha highly as a tool for the Indian church, because Indians love food, we love our social settings, and Alpha creates all of that in the most friendly fashion. It's a powerful tool, a wonderful tool to use in the local church. Without reservation, I commend Alpha to you, and I trust it'll be a tool that will bless you, your ministry, your church, and even the people that come to examine the Christian faith with you.